Another thing too is that I hung around a crew that didn't have very good family life. Most of my high school days, junior high days. And so they had to grow up fast. They had to handle business right there. They had to learn how to do it right there. And a lot of them, continued to follow that path. They cherished the understanding. They cherished that wisdom. They did what they had to do, even though some of it was wrong. They got the understanding. And they're living life now. They're doing what they're doing. They're handling their business. They're grown up now. They're mature. But some of them, I feel like they felt like they missed out on being a kid. And so, even though that they are old enough to know what is right, still, you know what I'm saying, act out. Maybe there's even some of my friends that have had strict discipline on them. You got chores, you got to make payments on the car, on the gas, on your cell phone. You got to help bring in the groceries if you're gonna live in this house. And the parents did that with good intention to tell you, you know what, one day you're gonna have to do this all by yourself. And it happened to be that, okay, when they came here to college and there was no authority figure to enforce the discipline, they decided, you know what, I guess I didn't have a life as a kid, so I'm gonna be a kid now. And
I like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the role, kind of like life switched on them. Instead of progressively learning, they took it the opposite way. They said, you know what, I was old then, earlier, and now I'm gonna be young now. And there's it's kind of weird. It's like a gap. This age between 18 and 30 years old. It's that's prime time, And I gotta do everything in this span of life, because as soon as I hit 31, or something like that, it's just gonna go downhill from there. And it is. It's a good age. This is a good age. We got our minds. Most of us, we got our bodies, got our health. These are some golden years. But guess what? The Bible says that our latter days shall be greater than our former days.
True.
And so, I'm crazy enough to believe that. And so, I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with getting old, but right now it is time. Yeah, it's time to handle some business. It's time to do some work. Our flesh is so lazy, and our flesh loves pleasure. The Bible says that both laziness and if we fall into pleasure, they both lead to poverty. So
there's this. It's in the Gospels, first 4 books of the New Testament, where Jesus speaks about. I think there's this parable about the talents. The issue of talents. And so I know it could be a stretch, but if we are to think about those talents as years of our life or phases of our lives, one individual's focused on five phases of his life. And so I'm given, I'm acknowledged that I have been given this phase, and I have been charged to multiply, make the most out of this. All right, I've successfully done that, and now I'm moving to the next one. I've been charged to, make the most out of this. All right, so I guess childhood to schooling, to career, to family, to whatever. I've been given all these opportunities to actually make an impact, or to, illustrate the glory of God in me. So if you get to the person who has that one talent, that's the one who was kind of bashed, because it seemed like he focused all of his attention. Well, it's not necessarily that he focused all his attention on that one talent, but with the time that he had, he didn't multiply, because he felt like, I don't know, I want to wait till the person comes back, and now I want to deal with, exchanging this talent or using this talent or building on this talent. And so, I guess to go with taking care of business now, we don't wanna live a life of regret. We do not want to live a life of regret. If we can think about minor things now that it's like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or
but it was fun in the moment, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Or I wish I would have said that because the person needed to hear that, or I needed to hear that. So if we wrestle with just minor regrets now, like living 20 years ahead, or looking 20 years ahead and say, oh, I wish I would have done this. That's like 20 years of like
catch up.
That's like 20 years of catch up, man. That's weight.
And it's funny too, because when you hear most people that have, that went to the party. Okay, I'll give you a great example. This last summer, I'll be real, I even got teary-eyed because I was working 2 and 3 jobs. And I felt like, and then I was doing stuff in the church, and, and I'm 22 years old, man. I'm not supposed to be living like this. You know what I'm saying? But it has already been instilled in me through the music, and through the TV, and through the movies, and through my friends, and to my parents complaining, and I don't have anything that says that I can enjoy a young life and still work hard. I just don't hear that. I don't hear that at all. And so I feel like if I'm missing out on fun, I'm missing out on life completely. And so I'm here working 2 and 3 jobs, and I'm thinking these are supposed to be the best years of my life, and I'm over here having a pity party and stuff like that, and I'm just really getting down in the moment. But it's because that I feel like I'm missing out on something. And then I think about all those people that have partied while I was working, and have there's nothing wrong with partying, like you do right, but have not personally developed themselves, and just went and did what they wanted to do, and then they work on themselves, that they regret. They wish they can go back and do it over again. It's funny. It's really funny. That I heard a dude say the other time. He said, this is like. These guys got on TV. Like, these guys got on G4 Party Campus. or Campus PD, or something like that. Like, this is like them, And they said, I did everything that I ever wanted all day. I did what I wanted all the time. Whenever I wanted, however I wanted. I had everything. But I still wasn't living. And I thought that was amazing. I thought that was so amazing. And I'm over here thinking, like, I
want to do what they do.
Yeah, I want to do what they're doing, and I feel like I'm not living. But it's all in your perspective. It's all how you look at it. All right, go ahead, man.
Hold on.